My name is Blase Bova. From the day I began at St. Vincent de Paul, hey, I've got a helper. I'll do the first part, and you can do the second part. From the day I began at St. Vincent de Paul 15 years ago as a volunteer till today as director of programs, I've come to believe more strongly every day in the core values of the society: spirituality, fellowship, serving others, and giving others the opportunity to serve. Our core values create the environment that Steve calls the common ground of God's love. Our core values inspire mutual and reciprocal giving and receiving. I call it give and let give. The families who come to us for help, our Vincentians and volunteers, and our donors are all giving something of great value to themselves and to each other. Good, huh? They're also receiving something of great value for themselves and from each other. There is no us versus them. Our values set the stage each year for thousands of stories to be told and listened to around a desk or a kitchen table. Stories of ordinary people who never imagined that they'd have to ask anyone for help. Stories of people who found themselves in a dangerous place and how St. Vincent de Paul helped them find their way back out. Stories like Elizabeth's that remind us that someone who was taught not to trust the goodness and grace in humanity can see it at her front door and use it to change the direction of her life. Stories like Mike's that remind us of the little things, like a pair of glasses that we might take for granted, but that someone living without a home cannot. When you listen to thousands of St. Vincent de Paul stories of give and let give, as I have, you become quite passionate about keeping this model vibrant and widespread. Our challenge today is choosing just 2 people to meet you and share their stories with you, in the hope that hearing them firsthand and knowing how many others they represent will help you believe in this work as strongly as I do. I'd like to introduce you to Mike.
Boy, that is some tough competition. Good morning. My name is Mike Hayden, and I'd like to thank each one of you for being here this morning. A little bit about me. I was born outside of Tokyo, Japan in 1951. I was orphaned at 4 and adopted by an American aviator and his family. In 1955, we moved to Texas, where I was naturalized as an American citizen. Living a new life, living the American dream. I grew up in Tempe. I graduated from McClintock High School, class of '69. I worked in many different fields, from metalsmithing to professional photographer, and eventually ended up in a career as an industrial electrician. But as the economy slowed, I was downsized and outsourced. I soon found myself without an address, no job, living on food stamps and urban camping, which, by the way, is illegal in my hometown. 60 years old with no family, no resources, no safety net, alone on the street. Scary. Life on the street can be embarrassing as well as dangerous. I once awoke while sleeping in another empty doorway to a strange drunk reaching inside my coat. At that moment, my little dog woke up barking, leapt out of my coat, and scared the crap out of the drunk. He ran away, and my dog got a treat. You just never know what's going to happen to you on the street. real fears, real dangers to your things, to your person, to your mind. I lived this way for 17 months, living out of a storage unit by day, sleeping on the streets at night. And it was through the manager of my storage unit that I met my angels, my network of charitable ladies who were determined to get me off the streets, and also my dog. It was Liz Lopez and her husband Dave who directed me to Ozanam Manor. Some of you may recognize the name from Channel 12. I was able to improve my life and my situation by having a warm bed, a shower every day, food, clothing, access to resources, glasses, dental work. These are things that a homeless person finds priceless. And I thank St. Vincent's. I thank you as contributors to a worthy enterprise. Yes, the heart can move mountains, and your dollars can heal minds and bodies. If it wasn't for St. Vincent's, I honestly don't know where I would be today. But thanks to St. Vincent's and people like you, I have a future. I work as a handyman. Mike the Tall does it all. So with the work and the contacts that I now have, yes, my future looks bright, thanks to you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mike. That's a wonderful story. But it's all about give and let give. St. Vincent de Paul gave Mike 2 opportunities, not to be homeless anymore, but also the opportunity for Mike to help others build better homes. Now that he has a home, Mike's work as a handyman can help others to improve their homes. It's sort of a hand-me-down home improvement. And home improvement is a great way to introduce the story of Elizabeth, a young mother who is given a team of home makeover volunteers the opportunity to inspire her to turn her life in a whole new direction. This is Elizabeth.
Hello, I am very excited to be here this morning to represent 3 generations of my family, a family that is stronger than ever thanks to the kindness of St. Vincent de Paul. My sister Samantha, and my son was here, and my grandma are here to support me. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 18 years old and a mother. I just got my GED, and I'm now planning on going to college. My dream is to help others by being a motivational speaker. I have hope for my future and the future of my family, but it hasn't always been this way. I grew up in an abusive home with 2 parents who were dependent on drugs. This created a chaotic life for me and my 2 sisters, Danielle and Samantha. We had to grow up fast and fend for ourselves. We didn't know what it was like to trust others or even dream about a better life. We were just trying to survive. Even under all these conditions, I managed to do well in school. I was elected treasurer of my 8th grade class, and I was in marching band and concert band. But at home, it eventually all fell apart. Drugs took my mom away from me, and she was sent to prison. My older sister Daniela moved out, and my dad grew distant. I felt so alone. My grandparents took us in, although it put a big strain on them financially, because my grandma's in her 80s and in poor health, and my grandpa's disabled. We struggled to make ends meet. Sometimes we'd even have enough food. Our bathrooms had no lights, only one of them had plumbing that worked. So we took showers in the dark. Samantha and I got ready for school in a cracked mirror on our bedroom floor. There just wasn't enough money to fix up the house. During this time, I hit rock bottom. I was depressed, overwhelmed. I was angry. I was tired of being a survivor. I felt like I had lost my childhood. I wondered, why does God punish good people? I didn't see a better life ahead of me. So one day, I locked myself up in my bathroom and found all my grandma's pills and took them all. And then I cut my wrists, hoping to end my life. I didn't think anybody would notice or care if I was gone. Thankfully, my grandma did care. She was there for me, but my troubles didn't end there. I started missing school. I ran away to escape all the chaos and bad memories at home. I never touched drugs or alcohol, but I looked for love and affection in the wrong place. When I was 14, I got pregnant. Although it was hard, my son Angel saved my life by giving me a reason to live and a reason to care about my future. I named him Angel because of that. I began to look at our home through Angel's eyes. There were so many safety hazards that he had to spend most of his first year in a tiny little playpen. I vowed to do all that I could to make life better for him, a safe, comfortable environment that would teach him to be a loving and caring person. But how? That's when St. Vincent de Paul stepped in to help us. Since we've been involved with this wonderful organization, things have gotten so much better. They give us food when our shelves are empty, and diapers and clothes for Angel. Thanks to St. Vincent's, my grandpa's finally getting his teeth fixed. They have also helped me get my GED and the paperwork I needed for child support. Thanks to St. Vincent's Fresh Perspectives volunteers, our home is now safe and comfortable. These loving and caring volunteers fixed all the safety hazards and turned our house into a home. My son is now free to explore and grow. But these volunteers gave us more than just a home makeover. They gave us a precious gift of hope. As I said earlier, I've never learned to trust anyone, so I didn't know what to expect when they came to my door. But these volunteers showed us so much love, generosity, acceptance, that they transformed more than just our homes. They transformed our hearts and our minds. As a result, St. Vincent has inspired me to dedicate my future in giving back to others, so I can help people overcome obstacles like mine. Thank you, St. Vincent de Paul. You have been a source of my inspiration and my strength. You have also given me back my faith in God. You will always be in my heart. Thank you.
It's a beautiful story. Before I forget, I want to thank Elizabeth's grandma, Nellie, who's sitting in the room over here, for being there for Elizabeth when she needed her the most. If it weren't for you, Nellie, the world might have lost Elizabeth, and that would have been an awful thing, because I think Elizabeth is a young woman that has an awful lot to offer the world. But once again, it's about give and let give. Elizabeth's home makeover was done by a team of 30 attorneys and staff, some of them are here today, from the Engelman-Berger law firm, who came to her door ready to lay tile and carpet, to paint and decorate, and to do electrical repair. It took them 14 hours. And if you asked any one of them if they spent those 14 hours giving or receiving, each one would tell you the same thing. We received much more than we gave. Thank all of you for helping us give and let give. We hope you'll receive even more from the experience as well. Thank you.